And I look out among the county judges here and county officials, and I would express my appreciation to what you do. As much as we grow as a state, as much as we change as a state, the fact is we're still a rural state. And the fact is we're a state of small communities that are dependent upon the services that you render in your county. And it's mentioned that I grew up in Gravette, Arkansas, 3.5 miles out of town, half mile down a dirt road on a 280-acre farm. And let me tell you, we were dependent upon that county road grader. And I learned that very early on whenever my dad would talk about the county judge. You need to call the county judge to see if we can get him out here for this, our road or the bridge that washed out. And so I understand the role that you play and the important services that you render, and also the challenges that you face in terms of budget crunches and continuing to meet the growing needs of your county. You wanted me to talk about the legislative session. And first of all, let me just tell you, my wife Susan and I are enjoying ourselves. We're honored to be in this position. We're grateful to you for the opportunity to serve this great state as governor. And we've enjoyed every minute of it. It is probably more than I expected, both in terms of the fun of the job, but also in terms of the challenge and reward of it as well. And we started this legislative session, and as you can see, we didn't let any grass grow under our feet. We've been busy, and I want to applaud Speaker Jeremy Gillum and Senate Leader Jonathan Dismay. You see the votes that we've had on key pieces of legislation that's had a good margin. Well, it wasn't easy to get to that good margin. And so the success that we've achieved thus far, really a lot of credit goes to their leadership of their respective houses, but also the members of the legislature that have supported some key initiatives. And first, we presented a balanced budget. And that balanced budget did some good things for our counties. It included increasing the jail reimbursement rate from $28 to $30. And I understand that's the first time that's been done in over a decade. So it was long overdue, it was needed, it was a promise I made, and we put that in the budget, and that's being well received by our elected legislators as well. We implemented for the first time in decades and decades a cut in the individual income tax rate in Arkansas for those that we would define as the middle class, making between $20,000 and $75,000 per person. Now, how does that benefit the counties? What I've been impressed with, that employers have consistently come up to me and said, well, that might not benefit me because I make over that amount, but it benefits my employees and my workers. And your county employees and workers are generally within those income categories. And so they're going to receive the benefit of this tax cut. That's going to mean more money for them to buy gas, a set of tires, more money to buy their groceries or to have a good Christmas. And so that is a boost to them. It's been a thrill to be able to fulfill that commitment and have the support of a bipartisan group in the legislature, both Democrats and Republicans, supporting that middle class tax cut. We also resolved the issue of the private option so that it will continue through December 31, 2016. And then it will end, and we have set about the mechanism for a task force on large healthcare Medicaid reform to see what is the right direction for the future and what is the solution that fits Arkansas. But this stability in the direction that we go has been very important for your rural hospitals, for your rural health care, because they know what's going to happen this year and they know what's going to happen next year. And their voice will be heard through this task force as to what the right solution is for the future. And so I'm very pleased that we had broad support for that initiative, and that they, Republicans, Democrats, and legislature saw that as a good solution for the future. Now, I've had a few meetings with some of you, and you all raise an issue we haven't addressed yet. And I thought you'd just be happy with an increase in the county jail reimbursement rate, but somehow you've got another agenda on your plate, and that is the issue of prison overcrowding and additional space that you need in your county jails. And so I've referred to that issue as sort of the looming issue that we've got to face remaining in this session. There's a lot of things we've got to continue to address. The legislature have a lot of their priorities, but this is a big item that we need to focus on, and we need to have your partnership as we look for solutions. Let me outline the problem, because thus far I've been engaged in what the challenge that we face, which is clear, and that is that we have 2,500 inmates backed up in our county jail facilities. And it is ironic that as we have a backup in our county jails of 2,500, that is the precise number of the increase in parole revocations over 2013 to 2014. In 2013, we had 2,200 parole revocations. In 2014, we had 5,700. And under your math, that would be a 2,500 difference parole revocation increase, and that is the exact number of our inmates that are backed up in the county jail facilities. Now, there's a lot of factors there, but the parole revocations is a key factor as to that backup in your county jails. And this impacts us tremendously. It impacts your budget. You don't have enough money for other needs in your county. It also impacts your criminal justice system. Whenever you have 25% of your county jail beds filled with state prisoners, that's too high. And whenever you compare that to just 2 years ago, it was 1/3 that amount of backup in your county jails. And so it's grown 3 times, it's tripled over the last 2 years. It's a budget issue for you, it is a rule of law issue for you, and it leads to public safety concerns.